What's going on, everybody? This is Ed Talks. This is the Earthrise version of Starscream, or Earthrise Starscream. We're going to do a quick review on it. A lot of transformations are going to be done off screen. My thoughts between this and the Siege version. And should you buy this figure? Well, that all depends. But let's look at it first. So here we go. This is Siege Starscream. And let's see. He's a good looking character, man. Look at that. He looks like his G1 self. Nice side profile there. You know, I like that profile. You know, nice and clean. If you lift up an arm here, you know, it's a pretty good looking figure. The legs aren't bad either. You know, he's got the decent articulation, you know, what you expect. But if you want to get more range of articulation, you'll have to lift up that waist. But, you know, he can do that. Can he stand out like that? Let's see. Well, he might fall. But the obligatory super kick, and I'm not very good at it. But let's see what happens. Does he have that? No, he doesn't. He doesn't. Wait. Will he stay? Well, you get the idea. So his range of motion is pretty good. Very, you know, not bad for the G1er himself. But you're not going to get too much back articulation because this flap doesn't lift up, I believe. So, no. And he's got, you know, the wings. And the wings kind of sweep back. It's pretty cool. So it's like a independent hinge, but it also sweeps back like that. Pretty much, yeah. It's Starscream. It's the Starscream that you come to know and love in a new, bigger form. The only thing that I don't like is that gap, and I don't like that gap at the shoulders. But that's part of the transformation, but I don't like it. You know, it doesn't mesh well with me. And that's just my personal opinion. So please don't be upset, because I know a lot of people have feelings about this figure so far since it has been out. And if you see that little clip of a wing there, that's because we got the one that started it all. And basically they share, and I say share, they share a lot of cues with each other. They are very similar, and they are. I don't care what you say, well, there's a thing hinge there. No, these bad boys transform almost identical. The only difference is with him is folding in the fist. The legs have a different transformation with that hook there. But other than that, they follow the same chord. Now, this is the United version. And just to get a close-up look at him, he's got some paint issues. If you get the United Secret set, just be forewarned. Over time, and I keep this in the box. I don't play with this. This is not even on the shelf, because I'll tell you why in a moment. But as you can see, you know, he's, well, stood the test of time. Those Seeker blasters on his arm are the Hunger set, which matches to the T the United Seeker set. And there's a lot of chrome in this set, where chrome paint. Whereas the Henkei version had paint, but it only had chrome on the thrusters. This has chrome all over the paint. And you may not be able to see it here, but it's already kind of faded. But the one thing I do like about the Henkei version of Starscream, as well as any subsequent Takara version of Starscream, because there's really only three. I'm not going to get into Henkei, Thundercracker, Skywarp. They come from the Universe Starscream that came out in 2010. That has a slightly different mold change. The 3.5mm ports on the arms are slightly bigger, and also the plastic used is looser. Plus the tools are slightly different. The tools are, I don't know, they're a little bit larger. And if you've ever done like Seeker restoration or things I've done for a lot of people, you can only use parts. You can't really use parts from any Seeker mold that derive from classic Starscream. Just a little tidbit. And I'm an expert on this because I've done it. Even the wings don't fit. And I've got pictures. Maybe one day if I have a website, I'll post them, but right now I don't. But you can go to my blog. So the back wing details is one thing I did like. And this is only on the Henkei. This is only on the Henkei United version. It's not on the, it's, apparently it is not on any of the Hasbro version of the Seekers. And it's like, I like that extra detail. And it helps, you know, especially with, I guess, maybe recognizing the Decepticon. You will only see it on the Henkei and United versions. But the paint job is very nice. It's actually a little brighter. It may not show up on camera, but it's a lot brighter than the Henkei version. It's more clean, but you can see it's fading. But this is not about him per se. This is just a comparison of him to him, which is like comparing a Granny Smith apple to a delicious red apple to a, what's the other one? Golden Crisp apple, because now we have this guy. And, well, Siege Starscream is still, he's just hard to beat, man. I know he's dirty, but the articulation on Siege Starscream is just so what makes him the best Starscream right now, to me, in my opinion. The only thing that sucks about this Starscream, of course, is the chest, but I did do the face swap out. You know, let's see if I can get that in focus. I did do the face swap out because I'm sorry. Why would Thundercracker have a smirk? You know what I'm saying? Who's the plotter? Who's the planner? Starscream. But some people say that, you know, he doesn't have the smirk because, you know, Thundercracker's laughing at him doing something. Well, Thundercracker's not an important character, in my opinion. It's Starscream. So we're going to look into that. And so what we're going to do now is we're going to put him back here. Now, the one thing I will say I do like about this guy is the blasters. I love those blasters. Those blasters are very nice. Like, you should be very happy with the blasters. The chest is pretty good. You know, everything's just spot on. You know, looks nice. Just like I said, I don't like that gap. I just don't like that. But other than that, he's pretty decent. You know, he's Starscream. If you don't have Siege Starscream, then this is going to be your guy. But if you got Siege Starscream, I can't recommend it. It's going to be kind of tough, man. You know, it's going to be kind of tough. Anyway, we're going to pause for a moment and we're going to go off screen, and then we're going to go ahead and put them into their vehicle modes. And we're back through YouTube magic. Let's look at the jet modes. Now, we're comparing these mainly between the United version, Henkei version, and the Earthrise version. Because, yes, they, again, transform similar. The reason why I had to do it off camera, it would take too long. This would be a super long video transforming all these. But let me explain some things here. They follow very similar structures and transformation, with the exception of the arms and the legs. Where this still has the old standard of pull the legs down like you did with the old G1 stuff, where this has the new collapsible system that they started with kind of in Combiner Wars, Unite Warriors. Other than that, though, I will say this jet mode is decent, but again, not perfect. One of my gripes is here. This is where I have a gripe. I have an issue. Let's see if I can get it to focus here. Nope, doesn't want to focus on that. Okay, I don't know why. Oh, there we go. I don't know what's up with that. You see that? You see that? That bothers me, man. That really bothers me. Like, you mean to tell me you couldn't fix that? That's and the thing is why I'm disappointed slightly. Before you go, well, you shouldn't nitpick. Sorry, man. I buy this stuff. I can say what I want. So I don't want to hear your shit. I pay for this stuff. I've spent money on it. I'm going to say something about it. If you have a problem with it, I understand. Don't watch the video. I'm just being honest, because some people get very emotional over their figures. Well, guess what? Who cares? I bought it. I'm going to say what I want. There should not be a gap here in 2019, 2020. And I say 2019 because this has probably been out in 2019. We've been seeing pictures before 2020. This should have been a lot better. You know, and even if you want to compare it to United, oh, that was a tight. Ugh. There's far less of a gap. You know, there's far less of a gap. And that's a big deal. That's a big deal. That is a big deal. But let's get back into the nitty gritty. And I'm actually going to take the weapons off, because it's easier to look at that way. Now, let's look more at the undersides. And the undersides, again, they almost the same, you know, but I'm going to get to the thrusters in a minute. So they're variations of the original F-15 jet. You know, it's the Air Force, United States Air Force jet. I believe they're on the E now, if I'm not mistaken, because they did bring it back out of, I think they retired it and brought it back or something like that. I could be wrong. You know, jet heads, you know, get on me. They're the same on the underside, you know, and the nose cone, you know, of course they're not the same. This nose cone's a little more, it's bigger, a little more beefier in the front, but it's still got the weird gap. That gap right there. See it right there? I'm going to use this to point to it. See the gap? Same thing here. Still got the gap. So you're going to tell me that they're different? Nah, they're not different. This is just a large improvement of this, what we basically were asking for. But I will say the one thing is, the uniformity profile, because the blasters are going to kind of hide that. So I'm going to put the blaster back on just to show you. It's going to hide that. So, you know, that's forgivable, I guess. I'm just nitpicking, but it does, its uniformity is spot on. You know, the details, especially from the top, the underside of wings, you know, you don't want to look at that because it looks hollow. Now, the feel of the plastic, it feels a little less siegey. Like Siege has more something. I don't know if it's, you know, earthy plastic or anything like that. Siege has more of that. Whereas on this guy, like I said, the underside with the wings is always one of the things I like. Again, you only would get that with the Henkei United versions. You're not going to get that with the American versions of the Secret Mode. Always love that. The other thing that's weird is the back. Oh, and I want to talk about the profile. The profile has been improved slightly from the side, even though from the side it's just look more like F-15 jet. But you see that right there, the rudders folds down, and that's the way it always went with the Seekers. Really, they never matched up or lined up, and I think that's a flaw with the original Seeker, and they did improve that on the the Earthrise version. But the thrusters in the back, you notice there's a typical F-15 thrusters, like even on the G1. But I'm gonna have to do some research on this because I don't recall the F-15 having a new type of thruster. You know, I'm gonna do a quick look for that while I'm doing a review here because I'm kind of curious myself. You know, let's see. So as I do know the service has just been in service. So yeah, it's not an E version. There's a C and a D version. I'm going to take a look at to see if the back of the thruster, because that's the one that's been in production, you know, for a minute. Because the F-15 is not retired. If you live in Charleston, South Carolina, F-15s fly around a lot. We've seen them every day, you know. So they do have an F-15J, which incidentally is Japan. And they have the E, which is the Strike Eagle. They have the SE, which is with the reduced radar, and they have an upgrade, proposed upgrade to F-15, allowed it to supplement the F-20. F-22. So I don't know if they have that type of because the E is the one that's in service. That's a fact. That is in service, and I don't see that. Like, I don't see where it has that type of thruster. You know what I'm saying? It's still, it still has the same thrusters, and this is the one that's currently in service. It should be this one. Like, it should have these thrusters. I don't get this. Like, they couldn't. This. And maybe I'm missing something. Maybe I'm not. Did I mistransform? No, well, I didn't, because everything lined up right. Yep. Like, I feel like there should have been something where, like here, and maybe the thrusters came out or something like that. That type of thing, but it doesn't do that. So it's not perfect, and it isn't. So there you go. Where this actually, this is what F-15 Eagle looks like. Oh, it's not there. But other than that, the profile is nice. The blasters are a perfect size, because they, that's how they basically look in the cartoon. They fly like this. Pathetic fools! There's no escape. You know what I'm saying? And again, pretty cool. Like I said, they're jets, but this borrows from this all the way. I'm telling you, there's a few changes, but if you know how to transform this, the only thing that's going to be frustrating is the arms. And once you get the arm transformation, it's the same. It's the same, just, yeah, there we go. And now compare to my man, Mr. Siege. Now, I'm sorry, y'all. I know this is a collapsible shell, but it works, and they did a good job making this a collapsible shell. This is just, look at that. His chest is in his back or whatever. But this is why I talk about with the Tetrajets. We're probably not going to get Tetrajets again. I mean, this is it, And this is something that Hasbro did. And this does feel a little, maybe because all the parts are in concentrated, it just feels a lot, I don't know, maybe a little more heavier than this. When I say heavier, not in the sense that this is lightweight, but the plastic just feels a little more, not as hot. There's a hollowness in here that I can't quite place. But other than that, though, I mean, yeah, I like both of them. But I'm going to be honest with you, I am definitely a fan of Siege. I just think that this is cool. Now, I think that, like I said, because it's a one-off, because when we got this is going to be the new moneymaker like this was. This was the moneymaker from 2006, 2013. And all its variations, BotCons, TFCC, Transformer Collector Club, whatever subscription service you want to call it, this was money. There were, how many retail versions of Starscream did we get? 3. We got 3. Go 4 if you count Ghost. We got 3 versions of Ramjet. 3 versions of Ramjet. We got 3 versions of Dirge. 3 versions of Thrust, 4 versions of Thundercracker. That's right. There's 4. Because there's BotCon, there's Henkei, there's the new Generations one that came out for those that never got a Thundercracker, and then there's the one inside the United Pack, Skywarp. I think we only got 3. So we got the Skywarp, the Target Skywarp, Henkei Skywarp, and the Sky Warp that comes in this pack. But then you got the cell, the one on the cell. You got the G2 Ramjet. I think there's a G2 Starscream. There's the, there's so many that this is money. This was money for them. They had to retire this mold. You realize that Hasbro had to retire this? If they didn't retire this, man, we'd have some serious broken tools, man. It'd be bad. But my thoughts is, this is a good toy, but this is better. But the question is, should you buy both? The answer to the question is, yeah, you should. Because you got to think, the more iconic look for Starscream is always going to be this. Even though we might have got this first, and Skywarp and Thundercracker, they turned in these molds, and I have those too. I got Skywarp at $50 and had to pay exorbitant prices. They turned into this first, but next time we saw them, they were turning into this, and this is what we remember. This is what we know as G1 fans. Now, if you like other Starscreams, then you can go out and get, well, there's the one that came out. What was it? The leader class one. Yeah, it was okay. Never bought that. That was just a retool of Jetfire. Then, of course, you got the nasty Titans Return, where they were trying to, I don't know what that was. Throw it in the garbage. It was garbage. But buy this if you don't have Starscream. Buy this if you don't have this Siege Starscream. Buy this if you do have the Siege Starscream. You need to get both, because it's Starscream and Starscream sell. And you know how it works. If you're a collector, you know how this works. If you're new to collecting, Starscream is an important character, like a Megatron, like an Optimus Prime, and now Bumblebee. Because, when I grew up, Bumblebee wasn't. But hey, I like Bumblebee too. So, buy the figure. If you can get this one, still get him. I think he's cheap. I've seen him like on clearance at Walmart. So, get him, You won't be disappointed. All right. Well, this is Ed Talk signing off. This is my dumb review of Earthrise Starscream, and have a nice day.